Oh, it's a nice stonking pollock. A couple of rods under there, conger rods, and I've got the.
Thank you, Barry.
And that's a 2015 150 Mariner, but it's only done 207 hours. Once you're in, you just sort of grab onto the sides, you know, so it's not too bad.
Can I help, Mark?
No, I'm alright, I think I'm fine. In the summer, they all raft up.
That's a nice bit of kit, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at, so for argument's sake, and I mean, showing the reefs and things like that.
Yeah.
So like there's the, let's find the horse, that's where we're going to go and have a try. That's a Savage Gear slow jig. This is one of the new ones. I think these are the minnow ones, but that looks pretty mackerel-y to me. And that's 100 grams. And yeah, and then we've got these are all the same make, just different patterns on there. It's quite a nice pink one there, which they're all 100 gram slow jigs.
About 60 foot.
60 foot reef.
Yeah. Wow.
So these are the sidewinder ones.
Just coming close.
These are the sidewinder ones. That's the sidewinder, another one that's 160 grams, which is quite nice. And this is another sidewinder. I think this is 150 grams. And they have these assist hooks on them. And we fish them sort of upside down. So the fish will take, hopefully, either one of those hooks. Sand eel lures that I use, these are probably the ones that we use today. These are 65 grams and they've got a lovely soft action, and you fish them direct with a fast click that I've got. There's all different colours. The pollock sometimes like these, and the bass, these yellow and lemon ones. And there's like almost like a mackerel one here, which are quite effective, and the action they've got is fantastic. We can have a look at them in the water in a bit. They're just really the same ones. They're the same sort of ones. I've got the black ones down in there. The 100.
to say.
Right, now we're in, just come out of the harbour and we're in safe water. I've got my position where I'm going to go to the Horse of Winnenden, and so I'm going to push go to, and then it's going to come up with engage autopilot, so I'm going to go yes, and then I'm going to push confirm, and then the boat will do its thing. It's showing us on the other screen here we're 2.7 miles from it, and at this current speed we're going to be there in 19 minutes, but obviously we'll whack it up a little bit, get the engine trimmed. Autopilot is so we're going to be there at this current speed. We're only doing 10 knots, but we'll be there in 14 minutes. So that my cursor's there, and then I know you'll see with these heading lines here where it's going to take us through, and you can see on AIS that's out of the boat there, and he's called Sovereign NN4, so he's a commercial. It looks like he's just actually gutting or whatever there. Idea of everything that's there. And we're in 37.2 foot of water, so it's about, you know, around about 40 foot. So you want to be hitting your jigs on the bottom and then vertical jigging them, so they're coming up about 6 foot off the bottom, and that tends to get them. But we've got a nice drift line here now, so we know where we're going. So perhaps we'll have a try and see what we're doing. This is a sidewinder, and it's a puffin, and obviously it looks like a puffin. This is 100 grams, probably a little bit too heavy for this reef, but it'll still work well, and it's an 18 centimetre.
Keep talking, mate.
And
as you talk, I film something else. So.
Okay. And what I connect this with, this is what I use. I have a small piece of fluorocarbon, just so it doesn't snag on the reef, and I use like these are quite a cheap fast clip, and literally you can never seem to get it on, but they are fast. I'll put that in there just to lock it. Fall down, otherwise you... It is, it's a new clip, so it's quite tight, but literally once that's in, it's locked in like that. And a lot of people sometimes fish these lures with the swivel, but that's a definite no-no, because the swivel will make it aeroplane round. With this, it's direct, and it'll only move when you've got a swivel on. It takes the action away from the lure. So if you have a look at this in the water, how it moves. Yeah, you see this. This is how this moves. So it's replicating a fish. Give that action. Bringing the lure up and then letting it flutter back down, and then that'll give that action.
Okay.
So we've just finished our drift line and we've come to the end of the reef. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back round, but I'm not going to drive right across the reef. I'm going to go completely round it so I don't scare any of the fish that are there. Some people do just plough right through. I do that when I'm wreck fishing as well. I always go round the wreck. It's obviously it's further, but it's just so that you don't disturb any fish. So I'm going to make a big circle and then go back round. I've already got my drift line here, so I know where I'm going to be drifting. I'm going to try it over, perhaps try it over a little bit higher up, so I know where my line is now. I've got a perfect drift line, so I'll go right the way round the reef, and then I'll stop my boat here, and I know I'm in scout mode, this at the minute, so I'm moving it around. I mean, obviously the water's quite coloured, but I'm moving this around so I can see any fish around the boat and under the boat or wherever, and I can change this. We're not picking, you can see it where it's pinging, but let's have a look to see if you can see any fish in there. We're almost directly up, directly in line, so that's the bottom as such. So I've got a side scan out on this. If I put it down now on a down scan vision, so that will show us exactly underneath the boat, and then I can spin that round. I've got different positions on this. It's now 9:44, so we're virtually on low water now, so we're probably about slack water, and then obviously you can see when we come up here 3:40 is high tide, so we're going to start to go on slack water, and then we'll move into a flood tide, and then we should pick fish up then. Yeah. That feels like that's a nice fish. Persevered. Oh, that's a nice stonking pollock. Look at the size of that. That's a nice one, isn't it?
You to me, yeah.
That's a nice size one.
Ah, look at it.
You got it?
Yeah, no, it needs to come out the gun. Square it up.
That's
Yeah, there's no fish here. To double, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait in a minute. And that's on that lure.
Oh. Lovely. Magnificent.
Okay, so what I do sometimes is when I'm going over a reef or over a wreck, I get quite a lot of, I can't quite see the trails, so the trails at the minute are blue. So what I'll do is I'll go into my settings here, and I'll go to find, and I'll go to trails, and then I can put a new trail on, so I can then put, say, a yellow one on and create that, and then now I've got a yellow mark on there, or actually I can, sorry, I've messed that up. So I can put a new trail on and then go blue and save, and then go to that trail, and then now you can see where my green ones are. Now I've got a new trail blue, and then that'll show me exactly where we're drifting on the neck. You know, when the tide starts to move, we can see where we're drifting to. Lemon one. The pollocks seem to love this colour, so it's a slightly lighter lead head, so it's a bit easier to. taking a little bit. That's a better power. Some big ones out here.
It's the same fish.
Look at his battle scars.
That's bigger. That's bigger.
Oh yeah, that's a better one.
Oh. What a fish. He goes quiet, Mark, just like me.
I'm not too bothered if I lose it. It'd be nice to get it up so we can see it.
Oh, another good one. Another good pollock.
That's nailed that lure. I just had a double.
2 doubles.
And really it's all about really setting this clutch, you know, so that if they do hit it, they can pull, you know, they can take the line. That's perfect, that rod. Yeah, just want, you know, you only want sort of 18 inches of just to stop it snagging on the wreck, you know. I mean, when you're using braid, as soon as your braid touches a wreck or touches a reef, it just frays. And I mean, on this, I mean, this line cost me 130 quid. It's a caster man, but this is 47 pound, which is, you know, probably sounds an overkill, but it's about how it works with the lure, you know. It's just, and I get quite a lot of advice, and there's a couple of good fishermen at my old club, and they've been fishing this way. I've been fishing this way for nearly 8 years, so I've been doing quite a lot of it. For some reason I just changed. I went to fish the traditional method, and you know, with the long trace and the sidewinders, and it was seemed to be you'll cover more ground that way, but once you're on the money, then you'll hit them, you know. 150 gram lure. I mean, there's nothing in the sea that this bulldog puppy can't handle. It'll handle any bass in UK waters. You know, so yeah, fantastic setup. But you don't have to go that. You can have a 40-pound lure rod. I mean, the guy I go out with, Colin, he's got sort of a spider web braid, 10 pound. He makes his own lead heads up and lures, and you know, really and truthfully, it's fish for fish, you know. I've got a 9-pound lure on and a 1,300-pound setup, and he's got, like, you know, 50 quid's worth on him, and he still catches the same as me, sometimes more. And sometimes there'll be that side of the boat and there won't be this side. It's really strange, you know, with boat fishing.
He goes quiet, Mark, just like me.
I'm not too bothered if I lose it. It's been nice to get it up so you can see it. I don't really need a net. That's nailed that lure. Yeah, that's diving. That feels like a codlin. Taking a little bit. Big ones out here. blood on it, is there?